name is Lucy Weidner. I am currently the past president of GMCMI. I live in Wisconsin with my husband, and we have lived there since about 1960s or so. We've lived there, and I'm a retired school nurse, and my husband is a gearhead. So that's about all. And anybody who owns a GMC needs to be a gearhead. So anyway. Well, I didn't know anything at all about GMCs, and I didn't know anything at all about what my husband was researching. His goal when he retired was he always wanted to build a hot rod from the ground up. And he's always been anything vintage. I mean, we very rarely own a new car. It's always something that, like the Toad is a 1991. So he's always looking for things like that. And I think he saw this coach at a car show he went to, and he got real fascinated and started researching it and stuff. And so I didn't know anything about it, didn't know what it looked like, didn't know why he was looking at it. And when we found our coach, it was in Houston, Texas. And we flew down there to get it. And we were lucky we made it home. Even though it looked nice in the pictures and stuff, when we got down there mechanically, there was a lot of things that were wrong with it. He was very taken with the fact that it was a fiberglass body, that it was a front wheel drive, that it had the Oldsmobile engine in it, that he knew that he could take a 500 Cadillac engine and bolt it in place. And to him, it was vintage, and that's what he wanted. And so this has always been his project. And so I very rarely have anything to say about what you like, what you don't like. Do you want this here? Do you want that here? I tell everybody my contribution to it is that we don't have a garage, a barn or anything like this. So if he works on the motorhome, it's always in the driveway. So my contribution is I open the door and say, Larry, it's time for lunch. Larry, it's time for supper. That's my contribution and stuff. And so, and it's been fascinating to see and hear why other people have chosen the GMC as well. A lot of people are just interested in the vintage thing, and they just, it performs absolutely beautifully on the road. I mean, we've never had an issue with it at all as far as steering or anything. I mean, he's very happy with it, and I'm the navigator, he's the driver, and that's what works for us. Yeah. We've owned our GMC since we bought it in 2001, and we didn't put it on the road until about 2003 because my husband wanted to make sure that it was roadworthy, so he changed everything, all the mechanics. He put a 500 Cadillac engine in it, and changed everything out that needed to be changed. And so the first trip we took, we joined GMCMI in 2002. The first trip we took was in 2005, and it was a wonderful experience. My first experience then as a first timer and stuff. So. And probably the biggest thing is just how interested everybody was in when you came in as a new person, and what kind of motorhome do you have, and what kinds of things have you done to it already, and being able to go to the open houses and see what people have done to their motorhomes and everything. And so, so we've lived in it quite a while before we ever did anything to the inside of it. We needed to figure out what we liked, what we didn't like. Probably the first thing we did do was to change the bed sleeping situation in the back, and because it had double bunks in the back, and we wanted to put a queen size bed in it. So that was the major change that we made first. Otherwise, we didn't do anything to it for quite a while until we decided that we wanted to move the microwave and those kinds of things, and I needed extra storage and stuff. And so you have to live in your motorhome for a while before you can figure out what it is that you really want to do with it and stuff. We laughingly say GMC means get more cash. So you either pay the money to get the parts for you to fix it, or you pay the money to have somebody else fix it. And I think you do yourself a disservice if you purchase one of these machines and you don't know anything about it, and you don't know anything at all about how it operates or any of the mechanics behind it at all, and that includes the plumbing, that includes electricity. I often say that, I mean, Larry can do anything, he can fix anything, he can make anything. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because he can fix anything and make anything, but it's a curse because he can fix anything and make anything. Because he'll never be happy having somebody else fix it other than himself. Now, have we had to have other people build transmissions for us? Yes. Have we had other people who have tried to build engines for us? Yes. They were not successful. He put the original 500 Cadillac engine in. We had a fluke that occurred, and we had to get towed, and he decided that he didn't want to build another one. So we went to a company to build it for us, and out in California. And the man was very knowledgeable. He had given some presentations at GMCMI about 500 Cadillac engines. And unfortunately, he was diagnosed with brain cancer and chose to put our motor together under the influence of brain cancer, and it didn't work. So the engine that we got didn't work. We sent it back. We got a new one. Nobody there knew how to build an engine like this. So Larry just threw up his hands and said, forget it. I'm going to go back and do it myself again. So I think I asked him last night, I think we have like 70 or 80,000 miles on this current engine and stuff. We've had 4 or 5 different transmissions. In the beginning, it was the torque converter. The person who was doing the torque converter was not gearing it right. And so we ran into some issues with that. And so the last transmission that we had, we got from somebody that we knew. Larry went over and got it, and he's not had any problems with it since. About 2009, we went to a convention, and that was the first time we became part of what we called the setup crew. Because we always used to meet in fairgrounds, and there was anywhere between 5 couples and 7 couples that would come in 1 week ahead of time. And because when you go to fairgrounds, you have to set up everything. Many of the fairgrounds don't have kitchens, so you have to set up your own kitchen, or you have to utilize what they do have, but make arrangements to provide breakfast for everybody. And so it took us, we got quite efficient towards the end there, and we could get everything physically set up in about less than a week. But there's always lots of paperwork and things like that. You had to get all of the booklets and the packets ready, and people started coming in, and who's having breakfast and who's not. And so it was quite a lengthy process for us to do that. And in 2024 is when we stopped going to fairgrounds and we went to our first resort. I laugh when I think about our new convention manager, when I asked him, what is it that you would like me to do? Because I was the person in charge of the kitchen from 2009 until 2023. So I made sure that everybody had what they needed. I made all the arrangements and the schedules for when people were going to do food and who needed to do food prep and where they were going to do it. And by doing that, though, I very rarely got to go to any of the tech sessions at all, because we were constantly setting up the kitchen or cleaning up the kitchen or something. And so my first convention in 2024 in the fall was in California, and I asked Mike, what is it that you want me to do? And he just said, I want you to sit down and talk to people. He said, you're the president, which was quite a novel idea and one I thoroughly enjoyed and stuff. And so this has been it's been a real treat for me to be able to be in this position and enjoy myself, and share with folks. One of the nice things about the GMC community is the network that you have out there of people who are so technically savvy about things. And we have GMC assist lists out there that you can contact people anywhere in your area, and anybody will come and help you. I mean, I don't know anybody that's ever been turned down to provide assistance to anybody, whether you broke down on the side of the road, whether you're, in Timbuktu or something. my husband's not the only one that has gone and driven 200 miles to help somebody put something in, or a new transmission, or a new engine, or anything. They will help you. And in fact, somebody was just going to a recent Dixielanders convention and broke down on the side of the road, and he was 40 miles away from another GMCer, and that person had exactly the part that he needed, and he came and got it fixed alongside of the road. So the strength of this community is its people and its technical knowledge, and the people's willingness to come and help you and be there to help you and support you and answer any question that you have. This is something we did not do, and I wish we would have done. I wish we would have gone to a convention and looked at all the various different motorhomes, okay, and talk to the people at that time. And what is it you like about it? What is it you don't like about it? Look at the different floor plans that are out there. Ask them the kinds of questions like, if you were looking for something, what is it that you would look for? What is something that's important that we should be watching for? I know we're trying to put together a list of things that you would carry with you as far as tools that are important and parts that might be important to you. So I guess I would make sure that if I did this again, that I would, I love our motorhome. I think I probably would have liked a different floor plan. But we've had this thing since 2001, and we live in it 5 to 6 months a year. And so, we've just been flexible with what we've got and stuff. But do we carry a lot of tools? Absolutely. Do we carry parts? Absolutely. But that's just the way it is. And there is anybody out there that isn't going to help you. I mean, anybody will help you alongside of the road or anywhere. My in-laws were full-time fifth wheelers, and they had a holiday rambler, and they had a group or a club or an organization that would meet on a regular basis. I never ever heard them talk about anybody providing assistance to them, or if they broke down, that anybody could fix anything for them or would fix anything for them. Locally, our local clubs, I think the other thing I would suggest to people is that look in your area for your local clubs and talk to them and go and visit with them, whether you have a motorhome or not. Go there first and talk to them and just get to know those people and be able to network with them. And, they may be able to find a coach for you, the kind of thing that you're looking for. So check out what you have locally, and then make sure that you check out GMCMI, because there are so many different people with expertise in this organization that you can probably find the answer to most anything within this group. We have lots of mechanics, and we used to have a lot of pilots and airplane pilots and stuff, and everybody was very knowledgeable mechanically about any piece of equipment, even the equipment we had for the convention to put on a convention, coffee pots and those kinds of things. If they knew anything about electricity, they knew how to fix it. And so this has always been a pretty resilient can-do group. Yeah. I'm happy that we're going to have some kind of information out there for folks who are interested in buying GMCs that's going to give them some knowledge, some background knowledge and things to look for. I'm happy that we're providing that information for them. I think the biggest thing is that once you get the GMC, for heaven's sakes, drive it. Don't just bring it home and think you're going to take it out just on the weekend. Encourage young folks to get involved in your groups. We are very fortunate. We have some young families in our groups, in our particular local group that, we've had them there. They're graduating from high school this year, and we've had them since they were 5. So, they've really been part of the family, and the kids all come to the rallies, and they're wonderful participants, and they're great. They really energize the organization, and I would just make sure that if you get one of these motorhomes, please, for heaven's sakes, drive it. Just don't let it sit. Yeah. We'll go in the fall to where our next fall convention is. We'll make sure that we're there. And we have not been to the far northeast. And so we'd like to make sure we get out to Maine sometime. That would be one of our things. My husband would like to go to Alaska. I think that's on his bucket list to do. Yeah.
hopefully you'll make it.
Hopefully we'll make it. Absolutely. So we are so grateful that we are the age that we are, that we're able to get in and out of the motorhome, that we can still fix the motorhome, that we can drive the motorhome, and we can use it. Because that's part of our discovery with this particular group, is that people, they age out and they sell their motorhomes, and trying to replenish the interest and the enthusiasm for it is hopefully we can continue to do that. So.
Take a look at who takes Geritol.
I'm Carolyn Rose. This is my husband, Pete.
Pete Rose, the baseball player.
When your husband's an athlete, you think a lot about good health, and that includes your own. So I try to get enough exercise and rest.
And you take Geritol every day.
Geritol, to be sure you get enough iron and some very important vitamins. Geritol.
Geritol every day.
And now you can get special savings on Geritol at stores where you shop. Try Geritol soon and save.
This is CBS.